Good morning. If you've just woken up, where have you been, man? You've missed 15 minutes of absolute joy, but it's only getting better. Welcome officially to the Culinary Hotline. Bling, ting, ting, ting. I like this. A lot of bass on the show this morning. It's quite interesting. We are so delighted to welcome the unbelievably talented chefs from Sweet Lionheart, Natalie and Laura. They're going to be showing us how to make three very exciting, I'm going to call them creations. They go way beyond just being cakes. A delicious 1, 2, 3 cookie with marbling. That sounds great. Unique mini cake designs, perfect for gifting. I love that. Let's go bespoke. And later they provide some tips on how to decorate these unbelievable mini creations. So stay tuned. And if you have any questions, please, we've got them here. Plug right in. You can send us a voice note, 063-408-8863. But first up, ladies, 1, 2, 3, make me a biscuit. I love that. Thank you so much for being here. You guys represent the cutest, coolest, most passionate brand. The branding itself is amazing. So thank you so much for opening a window into your world. I'm going to ask you to do two things, okay? We're going to multitask this morning. We're going to talk and we're going to cook because we've got a lot to do. So you, first of all, what are you going to create for us this morning?
So this morning, we're starting with our 1, 2, 3 cookie dough, one of the best cookies you will ever eat, I promise you. And then we're going to marble that pink and red, because that's our favorite colors, of course.
You have to, yeah.
Add a little sprinkle on top, and then you have a delicious cookie.
I can hear my daughter literally getting out the house and running all the way here. It's her favorite colors, it's her favorite things. It's gorgeous. How did you arrive at the 1, 2, 3?
So this was a recipe brought into the business from our owner, Nikki. And it's honestly such a favorite that we haven't changed the recipe one bit.
I love that.
It's been around for as long as the business has, since 2015. Ooh. So, yeah.
I love those kind of generational recipes because this ain't going nowhere. Okay, you guys can crack on and get started.
Cool. Awesome.
As Laura, I ask you about this incredible company because it's just such a cool image. Was that an intentional thing? Is it just an organic representation of you guys and what you do? Talk me through the brand.
Yeah, so I think it's kind of a representation of the owner, Nikki, and then as we've all come to the team, we've all added out a little bit, something creative, something just like a spark, something special that we each bring to the team. That's what we do. And yeah, it's the best, to be honest, because we each have such unique talents and we get to showcase that with Nikki, and she really highlights all of our specialties.
Because for me, baking, you don't play, because it is a science. And I love cooking. Baking, I get very frustrated because you've got to stay within the lines.
Yeah.
Yet you guys definitely don't paint in the lines. You guys push out the boat there. What was or is that creative jumping off point? Do you guys kind of sit every morning and think, what crazy things can we do? How does this magic all come together?
Honestly, I wish it was that easy, like that ideas just come all the time. But a lot of the inspiration comes from what we do at work, but also what we do outside of work as well. So whether it's running or, I mean, Laura's very into making her polymer clay miniature things as well.
Ooh.
So we draw inspiration from, at work, but a lot of this time outside of work as well. And then we think like, oh, that's cool. How can we make that into a cake form?
Can you see that flower? How can it become a cake? How can you do that?
100%.
Okay, we are going through a process here. When I talk about the science of baking, I would imagine with this resting on the dough needs to be really good. So how do we know? And what's the kind of basic process for getting this balance right?
So 1, 2, 3, obviously the name of the recipe, because it is it is 1 part sugar, 2 parts butter, 3 parts flour, basically. So one of the key things about this recipe is you need to cream your butter. It's really nice and fluffy. So start off at room temperature. It does help a little bit, but creaming it first till it's nice and fluffy before you add the flour.
What does that do?
I think it just makes the crumb a little bit more short, like a shortbread. So when you bite into it, it's nice and crumbly.
That extra
100%.
mouthfeel.
Yes,
I love that.
Yes.
You do realize we've given away your intellectual property now with the 1, 2. If you're gonna name the recipe with the recipe, you're kind of giving it away, okay?
It's okay.
But that being said, I'm still gonna go home and try and do this myself and then mess it up. I have no doubt. That's just the way. Okay, why are you hiding the mixing machine now?
Because I've added all the flour at once. If I put this machine on now, the flour is just gonna going to come out.
That would have been amazing on live TV, man.
But then my ratios were every out because I would have had no flour. So I'm
One,
just
two,
putting
two
a
and a
little
half,
cover,
yeah.
So I'm just putting a little cover on so that the flour can stay in the bowl. As you can see, it's already coming out.
But that's okay. We work with what we've got.
Yeah.
You're already highlighting now exactly what I've said, but with baking, a bit of experience also goes a very, very long
100%.
way. When you work in a creative space like this, how much do you learn? Because it feels like you guys are always pushing new ground.
Definitely. I feel like I've learned a lot in the kitchen, to be honest. And sometimes you'll see things online and then you actually come and put it in practice in the kitchen, and that's kind of where you get to like figure out your own version of doing something, and that's the special part.
Because we've got culinary inspiration. I meet young chefs with no training that are blowing up on TikTok and Insta, doing amazing stuff. And then you find, okay, they represent 5 generations of bakers.
Yeah.
That's the magic of
been
baking.
baking for years, and that's where you learned it, yeah.
For sure. Okay, there we see
Cool,
quite a
you can grab
short
some
dough,
half.
actually. Hey, it's quite crumbly.
It is quite short,
I would generally let it go a little bit further if I was keeping it that colour, but because we're going to add some colorant in it and then still knead it a little bit, I don't want to overwork the dough.
See.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to be so conscious and just clever to bake. Maybe this has been where I've fallen
That's
down
only
in
because
my
I've
past.
messed it up before.
Enough times, yeah.
That being said, you got to kind of make the mistakes, right?
100%,
Because there are bakers out there like myself that are just beating ourselves up. That you've got to learn that way. Okay, take us through the next.
So we're just
stages.
halving the dough, and then Laura's going to add some red colouring, and I'm going to add some pink colouring. I'm using gel, Laura's using powder, but honestly, it doesn't matter. It could be either or. If you're looking for a pastel colour, though, I would still use a bright colour. So just adding less. If you add 1 drop, you get the pastel colour.
Oh,
Whereas if you buy the pastel colour, then you'll have to use like so
the whole
much.
amount.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is always buy the bright version of that colour.
I love this. Thank you. We should have little pop-ups on our screen for all these little gems, because these are the ones that they save you. Maybe the entire
100%.
bake they might save you at some point. I love that. I love the fact that you guys are so open and share your love of baking. Okay, so through this marbling process, what are you trying to achieve here? I suppose
So
this is
two
when you're working the dough a
colours,
little
I
bit
would
further,
say.
yeah.
You want to have 2 very different colours. You don't want to be marbling with something that's too similar. It will get lost in the process. So that's why we're going with the red and the pink. And then other than that, it's kind of just blending the colours really well. You'll see us mix it together in a few minutes. And it's just getting a nice balance of it all.
How much, because you do eat with your eyes, and in your space, you are selling more than just food. You're selling a brand, you're selling something that people can plug into and kind of pass off as their own. When someone comes to engage with you guys, what's the best way to do that? What sort of creativity do you need? How can we get the best out of you guys? Because I would imagine if we're setting up a party or we're wanting to do something special for someone else, that's where you really come to bear.
100%. I mean, we've put so much time and effort into our range and what we offer on our website as well. And I feel like that there is definitely something that you will like. And within that, whatever you do come to like on the website, there's certain customizations which you can do as well to suit the occasion that the cake is for. So really the options are endless. It just depends how you want to customize the experience. Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. I know.
Ready.
So now we start mixing our pink and our red. We're going to wrap up these final few stages and get it into the oven in just a moment. It's 1, 2, 3. Cookies as easy as 1, 2, 3. I love the ratios. I love the colours. I love what these represent. If you've got any questions for the ladies, 063 408 8863. I think we're working with 2 baking geniuses, but the creativity is off the charts. So if you want some inspiration, plug in, give us a shout, drop us a voice note. We'd love to hear from you. Our 1, 2, 3 cookies will be on the way after the break. Oh, nice.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, hi. Sorry. I was just busy admiring some cake over here. We're delighted to welcome talented chefs over here from Sweet Lionheart. We have Natalie and Laura, who you've seen earlier with Graham in the kitchen. And next up, as we take a look at these amazing creations, we'd like to show you how to create 2 giftable mini cake designs that'll be appropriate for anything. We're talking about everything from, weddings, birthdays, and even divorces. We will make sure that these cakes are there for you. 063 408 8863. If you have any questions, doesn't matter what it is, we've got your back. Let's meet them again. Natalie and Laura.
Hi, hello.
Hi.
Carl.
Hello.
Did you like that? I just sweet lion heart does that to me. It makes me very, very just like I'm zoned in, I'm locked in. You know,
Nice.
which is lovely. All right, so the one thing that I know, because as you know, I may be a customer of yours every now and then, basically every birthday that comes into my life. The frosting.
Yes.
It's always smooth. It's always perfect. How? Is it the frosting, the way you mix it? Or is it the way you apply it? Or is it a bit of both? Talk to me.
I think it's a bit of both. It's the style of frosting that we use. So I think maybe most people use American buttercream. I'm going to pipe while I speak to you. But
Sorry, multitasker.
Yeah, I have to,
I mean,
you
are
know?
you sure?
I can do it.
What are your thoughts on global warming while you pipe? I'm joking. I'm kidding. It's going to be
So
distracting.
I think it's a mixture of the type of frosting that we work with, which is it's Swiss meringue buttercream. And also the fact that we take our time, we soften the buttercream down, and then we actually take our time to scrape it repeatedly until we get the smooth surface we want.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know my favorite icing is cream cheese icing.
We do that too, and that's also really smooth.
I love how smooth that is, but there's something about what I like about this cream cheese has this like a latent tartness and sourness that balances out the
Yes.
sweetness, which I really enjoy. But this is just the next level. Now, the thing is, this is what you call a flex while I'm talking to you, which is really just, I mean, this is really too much for TV, but it's okay. That's why we have you on. With regard to, so now with the frosting itself, that's one thing. But now there's consistency of that. You have to get to a point where it's pliable and that it stays in this shape. Like that's another little art. That's obviously experience, right? Or is there like
Yes.
maybe a hack or a tip or a trick for a home baker to think about when you are making one of these? Like, what's the consistency that's going to be good and pliable?
Honestly, it's about a lot of practice. So you
All
need
right.
to know exactly at what temperature and at what consistency when you are filling the cake,
Yes.
to when you're frosting the cake, to when you are piping on your details.
Okay.
So because the weather is very cold and we use only butter in our buttercream,
Yes.
the normal room temperature is a little bit too cold. So you just need to apply a little bit of heat to the buttercream. So you can pop it in the microwave for a little bit, or you can put it straight onto the
Gas or
the gas,
induction.
the flame of your gas stove top in a metal bowl.
Yes.
Sorry, I was going to say
It's
glass
good.
bowl.
No,
but
it's gotta be metal, yeah.
Metal bowl, and then you just melt it slightly so that when you mix it through, it's nice and silky, and that way you can pipe a lot easier.
Wow.
So it's a lot of practice and knowing when to use your buttercream for
This-
different applications.
This is amazing. Okay, so I just want to tell you that there's a certain flex that's happening here, like flexing proper. If you look at the detail there, that looks like you are decorating for somebody's wedding.
Yes.
It's beautiful. And the steady hand technique. So what you're saying is to a home baker who wants to get to the level of sweet lion heart,
Yes.
what you need to do is just practice.
A lot of practice.
And you're going to mess up a lot, right? Which is okay.
Yes, there's nothing
100%.
wrong with that. That's how you learn.
That's how you learn. It's important, which is beautiful. But of course, you have a little anecdote over here. I want to ask this very quickly. But in terms of the orders, when you're
Yes.
inundated, like what's the max amount of these babies that you've churned out on a day? Is there like a record or something that you have kept?
I wouldn't say we have a record,
Yeah.
but I have done 97 in one day. I mean, it wasn't a normal 8 to 5. It
was a longer
Yeah, it
shift
was a
than
very
usual.
long day.
But you did 97 of
Yes,
these.
correct.
Was it like in November or December?
No, so actually, we went up to Joburg and we decided that we were going to sell mini cakes over 2 days. So we took everything up with us and
Oh, wow.
we frosted cakes for everybody in Joburg who wanted a taste of us as well.
This is amazing. It
Yeah.
really is. Remember, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask any of them, especially with these piping techniques. Now, to get the right type of, and give me the proper name for these things that you put into the piping bag to get these shapes, right? Would you call them a
Piping nozzle.
a
would be-
piping nozzle?
Yes.
Is that the correct term?
I would believe so, yes.
So the piping nozzle itself, that's also comes with a bit of practice to know what to use. And because, I mean, this, if you look above that, that's got like a beautiful shape. It's
I
like
think knowing when to use what nozzle and how much pressure to apply with each nozzle. So
Okay.
you can use smaller nozzles and you can create the same shape with a bit more pressure or less pressure. And again, it
Okay.
is practice. A lot of this is done usually off the cake to get used to the technique, the wrist movement and all
Yes.
of that. And then transformative.
I wonder if there's a way we can just
wanna
showcase
try?
your different nozzles here.
Oh.
Yes.
And it's just on a piece of something so we can get an idea of what each nozzle is going to do for you. Because, I mean, if you just look at this now, okay, I'm not going to lie. That's right. Sorry, I have to stop. Sorry, DJ.
paper.
All right, so let's take a yes, something
Can I
like
do
that.
something like
Yeah.
That's going to be perfect, and it's going to give you an idea of the different nozzles and how to do them, and what to use them for. Because obviously you got. Let's start with this one. So this is petals.
Correct, this is a
Ribbon.
petal
Correct,
nozzle.
correct.
Petals and ribbon.
correct.
Okay, cool.
So you get different sizes
Yeah.
in these as well. I mean, you get really large ones, and this is a small one, as you can
smallest one,
see.
yeah.
Great.
So it can be piped either straight like this, and then it's thicker on the one side than it is on the other, or you can have an up and down motion, and that comes all from the wrist here.
Okay, this is so cool. You see, this is what I'm talking about. This is the type of culinary hotline that we're looking for, where, oh, look at that. That is amazing.
So there's 3 applications from one nozzle.
Yes.
And then obviously with another nozzle, you'll
Yeah.
have another 3 applications. So really, like, the options are endless, and you have to keep practicing. And honestly,
And
there's a lot online that you can learn from as well.
Yes.
So if you ever want to, know how a piping nozzle pipes, then look it up online so that you
See the
you don't
different
go buy a
styles.
nozzle and you don't need to.
Yeah.
Laura's going to show you that one though. That one's
So
also
this
Please,
cool.
I wanna
is
see
a
this.
star nozzle. You
Okay,
get different
cool.
sizes as well.
Yeah.
This is one of those ones that I suppose all our moms use to decorate the cakes, you know what I mean?
Yes,
But the
yes,
way you
yes.
apply it is a lot different, because look at that.
So you could just do the genetic snail trail, or you could do something more fancy and
This is
curl it
fan-
from side to side, essentially.
Chic. This
A
is
lot of practice, don't be fooled.
No,
I know.
It looks a lot
I
easier
know.
than it
You know what's
really
happening,
is.
right? So my director in my ear is telling me, don't
Yeah.
you want to try? Don't you want to try? Don't you
Yes,
want to try?
yes,
Don't you wanna try?
100%.
Don't you wanna try? Don't you wanna
This
try?
one,
I
that
get
one's
it.
going to be
Make
the
this one more
easiest.
So, all right, we'll try. So give me something to work with, and I will do my best.
Oh, I really
That's
Okay,
all
try
I can.
these 2.
Okay, which ones?
The red ones.
The red ones.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you've got the hand, very, very calm, steady hand. So I'm not sure, because the way I saw you do it, it's kind of.
So you just want to twist the back of the piping bag so that nothing comes out the
Yeah.
back.
Okay.
Twist
Cool.
it nice and tight.
Okay. Cool. Got it. Twisting.
Sweet.
Twisting. And then basically what you're doing
I'd
here.
say aim for this one. You're just going to do like little bunny hops, so just up and down.
Okay. So
once.
bunny hops.
Yeah.
Close enough.
So bunny hops. Okay.
Carl
And then-
style.
Carl style, yeah. Bunnies up into the side. Ooh.
Oh,
And
you
that's,
little
what,
hearts.
that's correct. That's what I can do there. I'm just saying. And then the way you were just doing this one is crazy. You had like a thing here.
That's really good.
That's not bad at all. You can just space them
Okay.
out.
Oh, look how really good that is.
That's it. Still that you know. Okay. Sweet Lionheart are looking for new people, and this is why. And I'm thinking, like, if you're looking for somebody, let me just make sure that you get the right type of people here. So this one over here. Okay, this is fine.
This is more for wording and stuff, so you can spell your name out of this one.
There we go.
I see that. Cool.
I
So
see
say
it.
Carl is there. Can you see? You see that? You're welcome. That's a Sweet Lionheart autograph. You're most welcome. But of course, remember, we are going to be back with some more. These 2 ladies, Natalie and Laura, will be with you in a second. If you have any questions about piping like a professional or piping like a true artist, there's 2 there. You can choose. You can. Remember, 063-408-8863, and we'll be right back in the next few. I love this.
Well done.
You can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. I knew I would see you on the other side, and we're back in the kitchen. Now, earlier, Natalie and Laura showed us how to make the yummy 1, 2, 3 cookies with marbling, followed by 2 giftable mini cake designs, and those are my favorite. And now we get to see how we finish it all up, add that polishing touch on these beautiful mini cakes, and I'm going to try to get in there and help them do exactly that. They're going to show me their techniques, they're going to show me how to do it, and maybe because, tomorrow's my birthday, I could take one home. We'll see how we go. But ladies, I think that we should decorate some cakes. And I'm
Yeah, let's
seeing,
do it.
what is this, ribbon, cherries. Can you eat this? Glitter and sprinkles.
You can eat it. I mean, it'll move through you.
Okay.
Yeah. It's food safe.
Okay. Do you recommend?
Yeah, I
Okay,
mean, it's a
it's
nice
fine.
decoration, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's for decorative purposes, and if you don't want to eat it, you don't have to.
Decorative purposes and artwork. Okay,
Yes,
that's
don't
what we're
eat the
doing
ribbons
today.
either.
Don't, you can eat the ribbons or you can't.
Don't eat the ribbons.
Do not eat the ribbons. It's a PSA. All right, ladies, where do we start?
Laura, you're going to start on
Yeah,
yours.
so I'm going to start with the ribbons, and basically I'm going to be adding 4 ribbons. I'm going to assume that no one knows how to make bows, so I'm going to talk you through it.
Yes, please.
But essentially, what I like to do to save ribbon is to just work on the actual string that I have. And I'm going to make my first loop and then bring it around. So you can see, just bring that around, tuck it in, and pull tight. It's not too complex. And then you can basically just adjust to how tight you want the actual bow to be.
And then how do you stick it onto the cake?
So that's the magic. So I'm going to just trim this a bit shorter. And then because your buttercream ideally is still soft and hasn't gone into the fridge yet, you can simply pop this on the frosting.
And it stays?
Yeah.
And it
Oh!
So we would recommend prepping your bows first.
Yes.
And then piping your border and then sticking the bows on in that process.
Right.
So that your
It's
buttercream
ready
isn't
for
hard.
you.
Yeah, 100%.
Exactly. I'm telling you, I would just take the cake like that, like the minimal little bows, make it so cutesy, so demure. I'm here for it. But what else shall we add to the cake? I'm seeing cherries, but I'm wondering if you could add like strawberries maybe?
Definitely could.
Okay.
Cherries obviously they were trending right now, so that is why we've opted for the glitter cherry option.
Okay.
You can also add them like this though if you want that. Doesn't it remind you of your childhood?
Yes,
on
absolutely.
ice cream?
This cake in particular, I think.
Yes. So the maraschino cherry, always remember to get them with the stalk because you get with and without.
Right.
So with the stalk, and then you take them out of the syrup and you dry it on a paper towel or something that will absorb all that extra syrup, because if you don't do that, then you'll have the syrup running down on your cake, which is
and
not
that's
a vibe.
not cute. It's going to ruin what you've done over
And
here.
then your choice of glitter, today we've gone with red. And you just move it around in there. Can get a little bit messy.
You see, I like this. This is approachable. This is something I feel like I could do.
Tap it off, and then you pop it on to your cake.
So pretty. Well, ladies, not that I want to put you to extra work, but you did say you're good at multitasking. So
Yes.
we do have a voice note that somebody's come through. It is the Culinary Hotline Bling. So, Marissa, what have you got to say?
Hi, good morning. I'd like to find out exactly how to make the Swiss buttercream recipe at home. Do you have to use eggs in this recipe? I'm trying to look for a nice smooth buttercream recipe without eggs, so if you could share, that would be great. Thank you.
Wow, is this even possible? Can you make a cream without eggs?
So I think you would have to do a lot of research into an egg-free buttercream.
Okay.
Specifically Swiss meringue, the one that we use, does contain egg white. So the 3 main ingredients is sugar, egg white, and butter. So, and I've never tried to do an eggless one. So I don't exactly have an answer for that, but I think you would have to research and see what works for you. But as far as the Swiss meringue buttercream goes, there is unfortunately egg in that.
I mean, it's only 3 ingredients. If you take one away, it's not going to give the same thing. But
Exactly.
Deep dive into the internet, Marissa. Maybe, possibly, we could find something for you. Okay, I'm seeing some letters being written. That's a really thin piping bag.
Yeah, so this is our #1, which we use for all of our wording and like the fine detailing on the side.
Okay.
I'm just practicing off the cake, as which I would suggest to anybody if you're going to be putting words on. See your spacing, know how long the word is going to be so that you have an idea of how much space you're going to use on the
Right.
top of your cake.
If you make a mistake with the wording on there, is there a way to erase
Yes,
it?
so I would probably use my offset and scrape it off, or allow it to basically set and then pick it off, like just remove it and smooth out the surface again.
Yes, that happens
But aim to
often.
not make mistakes.
It does happen often. It's not like we just do it one time and it's
And then it's
amazing. No,
perfect.
sometimes it's 2, 3 times. So a tip for that, though, if you're going to add wording to the cake, is to set the cake first.
Okay.
So that if you make a mistake on top, then you can easily just take it off.
Here's a question. How do you decide what sort of decor goes for a specific occasion? A birthday, a wedding, a baby shower, etc.?
I think it's very customer dependent.
Okay.
So,
do
I
they
mean, you
give
get
what
like
they
the
want?
die-hard fans who love glitter cherries, and that'll go on their wedding cake, their birthday cake, their baptism cake, or
Everything.
whatever. So they do. You can customize what is on our website in terms of customizing actual cakes. Like we try not do character cakes for baptisms and things and birthdays. So we've kind of created our own style of kids' cakes and things like that. But in terms of what people want, we get the returning customers who always want the same thing all the time. So, I mean, you know, you got a style, you got a vibe, and that's kind of what you go for every time.
100%. And also, you need to have a signature look. I mean, you can't just be everything to everybody.
Exactly.
But you have to offer something specific. And this is so freaking cute. So I know them as bento cakes, but you were saying they are mini giftable cakes, right?
Yes, correct.
And what size are these? Because I could eat this on my own.
So this is a 10 centimeter,
10
centimeter diameter. It's about 7 centimeters high. And we say between 2 and 4.
Okay.
You kind of have to have a broad range of how many servings that a cake can serve, because some people love cake and some people just want to nibble.
A little bite.
So like you say, I mean, I'm like you. I could have that whole thing.
Please and thank
but yeah, some people even say that they get 6 slices out of this. So it's completely person dependent.
Okay.
There we're adding your name because we know it's your birthday tomorrow.
Stop it.
So you
I
have
got
a little
birthday getaway
cake.
this weekend. That's going to be for me, though. Sorry, friends, but it is my birthday after all. Oh, you guys are so lovely. Thank you so much for this. It is the Culinary Hotline. Bling!
Ting, ting,
Wow.
ting.
You know what? Next time it's all right. Well, we need to get into something so good. If you suffer from allergies, we absolutely have your back. And we want you to live a better life, a better quality life at that. So let's have a look as to how you can do that.